Discount Hanna-Barbera. Also, not even a second into the episode and we're already greeted with the producer of this travesty trying to cover his ass about a web series he should have ended 2 episodes ago. Retribution and Mobius' freedom? This title is very confusing. You see, retribution means punishment inflicted on someone as vengeance for a wrong or criminal act, and freedom is the power or right to speak, act, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. So, are we inflicting punishment onto Mobius because freedom is wrong and is a criminal act? If so, I'm sensing some bad subliminal messaging. Also, should have done this earlier, but +1 sin for using evolution as a subtitle to your series. Also, why is it necessary to have your watermark flash like that? The director is a dick to people with ADHD. Also, if I can play art critic for a second, those hands in the front are at an odd perspective. It's clearly the guy in the back discounting Dr. Wily from the Japanese Mega Man 2 box art, which deserves a sin all on its own, but from the way the 2 characters are in the front, it can come off as their hands extending in front of the camera, which gives them the appearance of having really long arms. We haven't even started the episode and we already have over 5 sins. That's pretty sinful in itself. Oh come on, we just started the episode. Do we really need a laser light show the very minute we start? Guy I beat up didn't stand a chance against me, cliché. So you expect this guardian to remain unconscious while you collect the MacGuffins you need? You do realize consciousness doesn't work like that, do you? Or are you assuming nothing's going to get in your way to obtain these things you need? When villains do this, it's a usual sign something is going to make them fail. Also, could we cope with the constant camera shifts? You have the text box to show us who's speaking, so why do you need to keep switching back and forth between the characters speaking? Shit like this is what gives people headaches. What the hell is order energy? Do you just dial the number and get free energy? Why aren't we funding this? Also, I get he's trying to say older energy, but because that typo was so bad, it deserves to be mocked for it. Discount Dr. Eggman. Done with what exactly? All that happened was the other guy said he was going to take care of business involving the protagonists. What exactly are you working on? Also, are we just going to abandon plot A and jump to this one? Did you just get bored writing for plot A and you immediately wanted to jump to plot B? Is that the f***ing ground bridge from Transformers Prime? I know this guy's the internet equivalent to Michael Bay, but come on. Now you're not even trying to hide it. Also, this isn't going to be explained at all in the plot, is it? This special effect is just going to sit here and never be spoken of again. Also, what is that guy staring at? Is he staring at the monitor in front of him, or is he staring at Eggman trying to push a button? You can't tell, because the animator couldn't be bothered to move the other guy's head to give us some context to the scene. You've managed to subtract more context from a scene that has 0 context. How do you do that? This plot hasn't gone anywhere, and we're already at 20 sins. I think this calls for another sin. Eggman Nega is a dick to Dr. Eggman. Random decapitated head? Context? No? Okay. Also, despite the neck facing towards the right, a blood trail is leaking towards the left. Wouldn't be the first time this web series has defied physics, but that doesn't mean it can't go unnoticed. Speaking of defying physics, I'd totally get the blood trail behind the head if it was sliding from the left side of the screen, but blood trails aren't usually that thick when sliding, especially if the head is facing the opposite direction of the blood trail. I don't care how cool Hatchet made it look, it's wrong. And if the excuse is the head was rolling, then there shouldn't even be a blood trail. Fallen antagonists can't stand following orders, cliché. Also, why should we care for this character's need for revenge? You've given us no context as to why we should suddenly sympathize with this character and hoping he rises from the ashes. Also, why is Dr. Eggman upset about being a robot? That just makes him adaptable and customizable due to his entire body now being mechanical. The guy could install a fucking proton cannon to his body and just shoot the bastard who turned him into a robot. He has an IQ of 300 and has knowledge of mechanical engineering, so what's stopping him from turning himself into Iron Man? It's obvious he still has a free mind, so why not? This is literally the best thing that could happen to him. Also, don't know if to count this as a sin for making Dr. Eggman go through reverse Michael Jackson, or to count this as a sin for a possible subtle racist joke about a white man turning black. I think for this case, I'll count for both. We interrupt this plotline to give you 10 minutes of fighting that will also not progress the plot. Also, how is this guy not burned from a robot fucking exploding? It's a fucking explosion! Made of fire! Fire burns things that are not made of fire. Okay, I don't care how badass you are. You can't block laser beams with just your arms. That's energy, which causes radiation damage to your body, and there ain't no blocking that. Also, you're a ninja, right? Can't you just teleport? Discount Meta Knight from Smash Brothers. Also, what are these robots even made of that make them light enough to be sucked in by wind? And if that's actually a super fast tornado, then Espio is spinning really fast right now. Possibly while Hard Metal is banging his hands. He's lucky if the only thing he gets are bruises. Did these robots make the sound of a deck of cards when hitting the ground? Also, take a look at the robot on the right. Now look at this scene. Not one of the characters approached the top right up the screen. So how is a descent like that even possible? Also, if I'm to assume they're being hit by a horizontal attack from the air, how are they being propelled straight down? Shouldn't they be flying at an angle? Also, how powerful was that blow if they managed to make that much of an impact on the ground and still fully function like nothing happened? If you guys are still wondering what the hell everything is, why there's robots everywhere, and why Oil Ocean Zone is being turned into a battlefront, good f***ing luck getting those questions answered because not a single thing is given background. We don't know the enemy, the characters, the lore. Some of the characters aren't even named. Bah! Where the f*** did you come from? What kind of bomb was that? The target evaporated before the explosion even went off. Was the target sent to another dimension? Because I'm pretty sure that's not how that bomb works. This episode has a serious case of characters jump in the scene randomly disorder. Also, this is Eggman Nega, correct? From what the opening of this episode brought us, he's a pretty big villain in the series, and the way he chose to present himself in this climactic battle for Mobius's fate is this? Lamest dictator ever. Why does he have a fucking kitchen sink attached to his robot? If he was hoping to come off as intimidating, he kinda dropped the ball there. Also, the minute this guy shows up, we transition to another part of the episode. Bullshit. You can't tease us like that, especially since you've already revealed the guy in his goddamn kitchen sink. You're not raising suspense, you're trying my patience. Did we just cut from a brainless action scene just to go to another brainless action scene? Seems the writer isn't the only one with no direction. Oh no! Also, first instinct is to stand and do nothing while danger approaches cliché. Also, notice how every quill on Shadow is moving except for the one on the very top. Apparently that one has special wind resistance. Also, remember the establishing shot from before? Now look at this dramatic zoom in. The shadow of whatever was towering over Shadow is gone. Shadow had plenty of time to run away from the attack and he still gets hit. This motherfucker can teleport, so the fuck? Also, the shadow that disappeared from the dramatic zoom is suddenly back. Are we supposed to forget that it disappeared last scene? So you don't question the amount of motobugs he's made over the years, or caterpillars, or the number of times he's revived the egg carrier, but you'll question the number of Gazoid units he produces? 21 years and we still don't know our characters, people. You are evil, therefore must be destroyed cliché. Also, Shadow is a dick to Eggman's robots. For someone going on about a mass production of robots, you sure are kicking their asses pretty easily. Also, he just f***ing teleported! Why didn't you do that earlier when that Gazoid robot was about to tackle you? Now might be a good time to address this, especially since majority of this is going to be brainless fighting. The way this story is supposed to work out is that it's a sub-arc branching from a bunch of other sub-arcs. Or, according to the writer, it's branching off where the character from the main series left off. So, it's a branching sub-arc while being a continuation of the main story as not a branching sub-arc. When the writer themselves can't make sense of chronological order of the episodes, you have a problem. They're trying to be all George Lucas with this shit, and they're massively failing. I think this deserves 7 sins, because Disney. Also, how appropriate. We get to 69 sins, and Shadow kicks this Gazoid where the sun don't shine. What an asshole. Wait, didn't Shadow just stop time? How's that robot able to escape? You can't create escape portals when you're trapped in time. Where do those guys keep coming from? Also, did we cut from a brainless action scene to cut to a brainless action scene just to cut back to the previous brainless action scene we cut away from to get into the other brainless action scene? My brain hurts. Also, aren't these two fights going on in completely different segues of the city? Well, this transition makes it look like they're just across the block from each other. The fuck? Oh, so the sink is a laser. Okay, but my only question now is, why a sink? If you're trying to threaten me, having a cannon that looks like a sink is the least threatening thing you can use. That's like if Darth Vader were to make the Death Star look like a dishwasher. Also, how does a sink laser even work? Can it rapid fire if you turn the left knob to hot water? Also, those guys should be dead. Enough said. Oh, f*** you. Also, take note that characters hitting the ground and sliding across the ground share the exact same sound effect. Also, Shadow landing on the ground shares the same sound effect despite having a harder landing impact. Also, despite the sink laser firing at the 3 female characters from above, their bodies fly in one direction instead of being scattered. Because f*** physics. We run on convenience. What did this guy use to heal these characters? Are we just supposed to go with it? Because, no, I won't do that. Wait, so Blaze needs her Deus Ex Machina stones to transform, but Amy doesn't? So the visual gag is being how the saying goes, throw everything but the kitchen sink, and then the taunted throws the kitchen sink. This joke fails, sadly, when Eggman Nega continues to throw things after the kitchen sink is thrown. You had one job, animator. Suddenly Silver. Also, does he think no one can see him? Does the episode think no one can see him? Why? He's clearly got everything handled on his own. What's he need you for? Also, Silver is capable of accessing his super form without the Deus Ex Machina stones. Why do it with Blaze but no one else? Discount Wolf O'Donnell. Also, Silverfish? I don't get it. I mean, yes, silverfish exist, but the character Silver looks nothing like a silverfish to make this insult work. Also, in a web series where all the characters are perfectly content with saying hell, damn, and bastard, the best insult this guy can muster is silverfish? Lamest dictator ever. I don't have time for this cliché. So we have the story writing of M. Night Shyamalan, the visual direction of Michael Bay, and the art talent of a typical teenager on DeviantArt? Couldn't you have ripped off someone good? Also, you can move the hair as much as you like. Silver's body's as stiff as a plank. Also, the golden aura surrounding Silver from 1 second ago is now gone. Wait, how did he break the Sync's force field? That's speciesist. Oh, f*** you, writer. More, stronger, evil scientific genius, and he can't speak proper English. Also, foes are much stronger than anticipated cliché. Suddenly robot. Also, are we really going to transition away from Eggman Nega again just as he gets in his new robot? When you've already shown us the bad guy and his newest toy, you're not raising suspense. How long was that thing hiding there? And the robot patrolling the room didn't notice? Also, are you telling me this thing was the very thing to give this capsulized robot its edge? This is the third ass pull you've done in this whole episode, and we're not even done with part 1. Sorry, was that too much foreshadowing for you? Back to the fight scene. Last time I checked, Cube Wisp never did that. Also, aren't these wisps supposed to fade away after a while? At least that's what I got from the games, but that's assuming the story follows a lick of the source material. The f***? Did Shadow's hyperform get sucked into the void? How's that even possible? Wasn't that the robot from the last scene? You mean we transitioned away from that scene just to see him again in the next one? Also, you tried raising suspense with this character just to show him 5 seconds later? That's not how suspense works. Mysterious robot is a dick to other robot, rising slowly from the collateral damage I caused cliché. Pop culture reference. How do we transition from oil ocean zone to an industrial factory? Pop culture reference. Hole in the ground is a completely different color from the floor. No. He took a rainbow laser point blank. He should be dead. Here's a question. Does this fight scene do anything with progressing the plot? If not... Come on, this guy had plenty of time to move out of the way. Also, this same Cube Wisp, which defended this robot against one of Shadow's large energy attacks, is now completely shattered by this random robot's large energy attack. Also, this robot took a rainbow laser point blank and survived. How is this the thing that kills him? Huzzah! You killed him! So, what was the point of that? Sky is moving, despite robot standing completely still. It's only a matter of time cliché. Now for the moment of truth cliché. Also, the Guardian actually remained unconscious while you grabbed all the MacGuffins you needed? Isn't that polite of him? And sinful. It wasn't enough power cliché. Villain just so happens to know how to get more power cliché. Oh, you wanted to hear a story? Well, too bad. Fight scene. Why does Tails need a spinning top? He can fucking fly! Also, spinning top Tails jumps off, magically reappears underneath him as he's about to land, because logic is stupid. Suddenly, lots and lots of robots. Also, is it just me, or a majority of the villains in this episode black? That's pretty racist. Only one of these robots are giant, the rest of them are your height. Also, this is Dr. Eggman we're talking about. He builds fortress-sized robots all the time. You guys have known this man for over 20 years and this is still news to you? Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. When did Sonic gain the power to stop time? Also, for someone going on about giant robots, they sure are kicking their asses pretty easily. Also, Tails is the one with the goddamn proton cannon, but Eggman isn't? Also, I don't care if you stop time, those energy attacks are hitting those other energy attacks. When time unfreezes, you should all be blown up. No, he should be dead. The energy stems don't stretch all the way, making the special effects dive right into Uncanny Valley. Tails awkwardly stands there, doing nothing for no particular reason other than to be damsel bait. Suddenly this guy. I needed that special effect prompt just to run at you. I pull out my hammer just to teleport away. Also, I knew Sonic was behind me the whole time. Trust me, I did. Also, wasn't Amy hit by this guy's spin attack? Kind of hard to miss considering the robot's size. Also, Sonic's head is hitting the energy attack. Stupid netcode lag. Also, this robot was frozen by time, blasted with 3 energy lasers, electric blast, and he survived. But this is what kills him? Alright, you. Finitivis? Why does that sound like a nose infection? Wait, so you had the power to steal other people's energy from them, and you're just using it now? Stupid villain is stupid. Also, Finitivis is a dick. God damn it, Amy, you had one job. Also, Sonic dodges the power-stealing void, but Amy, who was behind Sonic the whole time and sees Finitivis do the move on Tails, doesn't think to move out of the way of the power-stealing void. Does anyone in this series have a brain? Anyone? Sonic has his back turned to the bad guy who he knows can steal powers, because drama. Stupid story, we don't want you here. Back to the fighting. Also, where does everyone keep getting these spinning tops from? Also, Yoshi Robot? Why? When has there ever been anything Mario related in this series? Also, I don't care how badass you are, an organic body does not cause an explosion when hitting solid f***ing ground. Also, allies just so happen to find their friends in dire trouble. Also, discount Metal Gear Solid. Rouge's bomb from earlier, which made its target evaporate before the explosion going off, doesn't evaporate this one. Also, who turned on friendly fire? Also, why is it SPO is hit by an explosion, yet any other time a character is doing a large laser combination attack, they're not hit by the millions of lasers flying everywhere. Inconsistent friendly fire is inconsistent. Also, Rouge is a dick to SPO. What do you mean, what did he do to you? Venetificus told you he was going to steal your powers. The characters themselves have lost focus on this episode's writing. Tails isn't sure why the bad guy wants the good guys to lose. Dude, their powers were stolen. There ain't no recovering from that. Oh right, this guy was important. That robot was holding an explosion. Those hands should be blown off. Did that bomb fire a laser? Suddenly the Matrix. And now the bomb creates voids? Make up your mind, animator. Do these things explode, fire lasers, or create voids? Damn it, Silver, why'd you go and break the ketchup bottle? Also, why are these guys getting kicked out of their super forms by f***ing lasers? These super forms are lame. Hey, dumbass, villainy 101. Never assume the good guy is dead, because they're probably not. Great, it seems Blaze got into the ketchup bottles too. Also, Eggman Nega has powers of the Deus Ex Machina stones. Now might be a good time to use them to kill everybody instead of taunting your foe. Also, why doesn't Eggman Nega throw Blaze back into the void? He's just asking for the good guys to beat him. I need this special effects prompt just to detach this robot's arms. Also, why does everyone let themselves be hit by these attacks? They have plenty of time to dodge. Also, those guys should be dead. No, those arms shouldn't be there. They exploded from literally last scene. Bullshit. He should be dead! He was hit with a giant laser beam dead on, bleeding everywhere, and was blown up by a pair of robot arms. This hedgehog should be dead. Also, what happened to his bleeding? Are you telling me he healed those boo-boos up that fast? I'm adding 6 because Wolverine. This never gets explained. Like, ever. Wait, so Silver can literally control time now? Is every character in this series going to be a goddamn Time Lord? Also, if Silver is reversing time on Blaze to the point of being healthy, shouldn't she still have a set of the Deus Ex Machina stones in her? Good job, Silver. You made a set of Divine Reckoning stones that can be usable by both good and evil. You are an idiot. Gee, I really wish there was something to explain how any of this is possible. Oh well, eye candy. Masturbation. Good job, Silver. I'm pretty sure his spine is broken. Oh great. We're going to get the typical speech from every Superman movie out there. Don't kill the bad guy, you'll be no better than him. We've heard this all before. Also, why should it matter if Silver kills a guy or not? He has the power to reverse time on people back to certain states. Here's a better question. Why not use that and reverse the time on Eggman Nega to the point where he's in his infant years? He'd have to go through the torture growing up all over again. Also, you're telling me all those fireballs, energy attacks, blowing the guy up in his own robot? You're telling me all that shit wasn't lethal? Bullshit. Also, this moral is basically telling me you can't kill the bad guy, but if you happen to shoot a bunch of things that would normally kill a man and they just so happen to survive, that's okay. And you should be okay about that. And I am not okay about that. How does Blaze remember anything involving Mephiles? Wasn't Sonic 06 erased from the timeline? Also, you made Sonic 06 relevant to this story. Plus 15. Wait, you mean you could send people to other dimensions? Why didn't you use this earlier? Also, say you send Eggman Nega back into his dimension, what's stopping his scientific mind from building a gateway back into this dimension? Also, where exactly are you sending him in that dimension? Because if it's loose on the streets and not in a jail cell, then you are an idiot, Silver. Blaze is a bitch to Silver. Uh-oh, there's a dramatic zoom in on this leftover robot with a to be continued. I guess this means this is going to foreshadow something, isn't it? Also, yay, we're finally done with part 1. Let's take a look at that. Oh, the bonus round is going to be fun. 4 parts? F me.